What's good, everybody? Mr. J here, and today's mod day. That's right, today is mod day, as promised, following last week's maintenance mod day, the debadging of the car. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to install a carbon fiber vinyl wrap on the trunk. Gonna start going for that two-tone carbon fiber look. I absolutely love two-tone looks on Chrysler 300s. My favorite is like the white and black. I mean, if you have a white 300 and you wrap the trunk, roof, and hood of that thing, woo-wee, woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, it's a good look. That's a good look. But Gotham Hemi's black, so we are gonna go carbon fiber, and that's fire right there. That should be fire. I love carbon fiber myself. It's gonna do well for, you know, the theme, fitting the theme of the car. Gotham, carbon fiber, Batman, all of that's gonna tie in very well. But yep, last week we debadged, got the vehicle all prepped and ready. So now we're gonna go ahead and wrap that trunk. I'm gonna take you guys every step of the way, just as usual. Materials listed will be down below. Everything you need will be linked down below. So without further ado, let's start this mod, man. So the trunk is fully debadged, it's clean, it's been washed, everything's good. Next step we're going to take is to remove the spoiler. Looking for a clean install here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the spoiler off, that way we can wrap the trunk in one piece. Now, really important, it's gonna be one of these and one of these tools. This is a puller, and then this is all the kinds of different accessories that you're gonna need to pull off the interior upholstery, and I'll show you why this is important in a second. All right, so if we pop the trunk here, to get to the spoiler, we're going to have to remove this cloth cover right here. And as you can see, it's got these different standoffs to pull. So you can see it's missing the flathead part. It's supposed to look like this. Now this is going to be what we stick the tool underneath to pop it out. So this one's going to need some like needle nose pliers. You know, there's another one right there. There's one up top, and oh look, that one's completely missing, and that one's completely missing as well. All right, so I have to rant for a little bit, because stuff like that really just kind of it grinds my gears. You know, it pisses me off. Like, you can add all the mods you want, but if you are tearing apart, you know, the vehicle and destroying what the vehicle was beforehand, like, there's really no point in adding stuff to it if you're just going to destroy it along the way. You know, I'm a firm believer in taking care of what you have. Like, you know, the old saying goes, you know, you'll never have anything if you don't appreciate what you have. That statement, I find, is very true. You know, if you don't appreciate what you have, then you're gonna take care of it like you don't appreciate it. And as that diminishes, your appreciation, which is already low for it in the first place, is gonna continue to go down, go down, go down. And you're just gonna be like, whatever, I want a new one. And you'll always be wanting. You know, you'll always want more and more and more if you never appreciate what you have. So when you guys are doing things like this, you know, take your time, take care of what you have. You know, just don't pop the stuff off. Like, I'm not concerned about resale value. I'm just, you know, concerned about, you know, having nice things. You know, there's only one owner on this car before I had it, and, you know, between the plasti dip and the busted off, you know, plastic nuts and everything, the car in itself is in good shape. They took very good care of the car itself. But some of the cosmetic things that they've done to the car just really pissed me off, and just adds more work for me to correct. All right, so yeah, to get to the spoiler, we do have to remove this cover. So using a pry tool, you know, part of respecting what you have is using the proper tool. You know, if you can sure use a flathead to get underneath here, but you're going to be gouging it along the way and possibly damaging it along the way. You know, this was like 20 bucks on Amazon. I mean, like 20 bucks and a 2-day wait to ensure doing it properly. And you know, if you do by accident, you know, break one off in the process of removing it, you don't have to put it back in, you know, all half-assed. You have extras to replace it with. See how easy that was? Just slide it under there and pop it off. Alright, so now I'm down to the 2 busted ones. Gonna have to get some needle nose pliers to really grab a hold of that piece that's just stuck in there. Here we go. Alright, there's a handle right up here, and it just has 2 Phillips head screws in there. Just remove those. Oh no, it has stars. Why does it have stars? Correction, it has hex keys. Alright, so we've got 3 more nuts that are going to be holding on the spoiler itself. One right there. One in the middle. And then that janky one right there. See, that's a little bit more what I'm talking about with taking care of what you have. As you can see, that was, you know, it's all rusted underneath, and yeah, it's on the bottom, but the other 2 are nice and neat because, you know, they use the proper materials to do it. That last one, they, you know, just kind of jankied in there, and I'll show you what it looks like from the top. See that gap right there? That's just because they did that. So we're gonna have to figure out a way, see if we got some hardware to fix that issue. Hopefully that isn't going to stop me from removing the spoiler and being able to actually reattach it. We'll see. Looking at this screw, it looks like they just took a self-tapping screw and drilled right into the spoiler. My guess is because they probably lost the proper hardware to do it. So what I'm really hoping is that I can remove this and be able to reattach the spoiler. Otherwise, we're really gonna have to find a different way to mount this spoiler. Yep, and that's exactly what it is. It's a self-tapping screw, and beyond that, it also looks like it's busted. It's half busted, so half of the screw is still in there. All right, and so I did get the spoiler off, and my suspicions were right. Half of the screw was still in there, which is why it was a little bit of a struggle to get it all the way off. But as you can see, spoiler has standoffs in it. Right here, right here, and this one right here. See, the standoff either fell out or whatever. They lost it, so they made their own. And as you can see, applying it, they even cracked the spoiler. I always thought that was a body line, but it's an actual crack. So we're gonna have to do some work on the spoiler before we get it reattached. And we're back, and the trunk is done. All right, so I apologize for the massive time jump. I know that the footage probably looks a little weird, but currently as we're sitting, this trunk wrap has been done for I don't know how long, but quite a while. As you guys probably know by now, I shoot videos in advance. Just to give you an idea, I've got 12 videos that I'm currently editing right now. Actually, I just started my 13th video last night. So I'm currently working on 13 videos, and the channel is due to launch tomorrow. So all of the sequences in my videos aren't necessarily in a day-by-day fashion, but I do post the mods in order that they got done. But going back to the trunk wrap, I apologize for the lack of footage, but I felt it necessary to talk on this subject. I almost didn't complete this mod, guys. And in the spirit of this being a DIY channel, the honesty about DIY is that there is going to be a margin for trial and error. And unfortunately, this was almost completely in error. And again, apologies, no footage for you guys, but I do want to touch on my tribulations with this hood wrap, because I could have continued to film throughout the whole thing and cut together all of my best moments and acted like this wasn't any kind of issue for me at all, but I don't find that helpful. I don't think that that's the spirit of DIY. Like I said, the spirit of DIY means that there's going to be a margin for trial and error. So if I'm not sharing my errors with you guys, then it's not truly DIY. And there's also value in learning from other people's and knowing mistakes. Because I know that there's tons of forums, channels, everything out there, a plethora of information on rap that you guys can get your information from. And I urge you to get your information from there. When you're starting to do something for the very first time, you want to make sure that you get your information not just from one person, but from a collective of different perspectives and points of view. That way you can be as prepared as you can be to do something. If you just choose one person to pay attention to because so-and-so said, oh, they're the best, they have the best information, blah blah blah, you're getting one point of view. And like, if you're watching like a professional do it, then
you're just seeing professional results, and only watching professional results, you don't see the the learning process. You got to learn. You got to realize that when you watch a professional do it, you're watching professional results. That doesn't make you a professional in turn. That professional became a professional enduring the trials and tribulations that came from the first time all the way up to where they are at now. And they're not going to show you all of that in a video. They're going to show you the process and how to do it. But behind their process is their experience. So I think that it's important to show and talk about, since I don't have any footage, but I think it's important to talk about the difficulties that I had. Because if you're just watching professional results and you go to replicate professional results and you're not getting those professional results, and all you've seen is, A to Z finish with no errors, then you don't know how to overcome errors. You might come up on an issue, think that it's done, and then quit when you didn't have to quit. So, I'm gonna share my experience with y'all. Basically, what happened was, I went into this completely overconfident, completely overzealous, and my first error was that I tried to do it way too late in the day. I had my daughters over for the weekend. I didn't do it on Saturday, I did it on a Sunday. So it was just before going to work. Took my daughters home, at 9 o'clock. So I came back 10:30, 11 o'clock is when I started this mop. Keep in mind I have to work the next day, and it's the first time wrapping a body piece. So completely overestimated myself. And basically what happened is I tried to do it completely wrong. I wanted to wrap the trunk. I wanted to wrap the trunk in one piece because it is carbon fiber. There is a pattern there, and I didn't want to interrupt the pattern. I want to make it look as natural as possible, which makes sense, right? I mean, that's what you want when you're doing something like this. But my approach was completely wrong. So what I tried to do is I tried to do the top of the hood first. I keep on saying hood, the trunk, top of the trunk first, and then fold it down and do the front of the face of the trunk, which is the wrong approach. So I started, like I said, at like 11 o'clock at night. And when I started at the point where I shut off the camera, because I just knew that, this was not going the way that I wanted it to go. I was hitting a wall, and basically I couldn't worry about the camera. I had to concentrate on the mod. I had to concentrate on getting done before going to work the next day, because, if the wrap's not on, you're not traveling to work with it halfway on. And, the likelihood of being able to take it off and preserve it for a second attempt at an installation is not likely either. So I was operating under that pressure, and I really let it get to me. I didn't think it through, for one, because I just kept on trying to do it, and it got until like 3:30 in the morning, and my wife's getting ready for work. We work opposite schedules, so she leaves early in the morning. I leave almost in the afternoon. She's getting ready for work. She's like, "Oh, you're still working on it?" And I'm like, "Yes." Trying not to rage on her, because I was angry. I was very, very angry. I was, at the point where I was just going to rip off the vinyl, crinkle it up, and throw it away. I was at that point. Thankfully, I was able to calm down just a little bit, compose my thoughts, and I decided to sleep on it. Instead of just rage quitting, I decided to sleep on it, and that was the difference maker. That was the best decision I made while installing this mod. Not to act in a moment of anger, take a break, and come back to it. Because what happened is I went to sleep, woke up with a fresh mind, and I thought about it. And, within 5 minutes of waking up and thinking, okay, now I have 3 hours before I go to work. Can I salvage this? How do I approach it? I realized that my approach was completely wrong. I was so focused on doing this in one piece that I never really realized that I didn't have to do it in one piece. Remember, I took the spoiler off, and the spoiler was going to be reattached. So the spoiler goes from edge to edge. I can easily put a seam in the carbon fiber and then cover it back up with the spoiler, and it would make my install easier, and you would never be able to tell. And once that went off, but epiphany, I came right downstairs, started working on it. I made my cut. I wrapped it in 2 pieces instead of 1. And I'm not saying it came out perfect. I'm not saying that it came out perfect. But I'm definitely happy with it. I have 1 imperfection in the trunk. And it's basically a crease. And I'll show it to you. I'll provide some video footage for it. But there's only 1 imperfection in it, and I am completely cool with that. Because now going forward, I know that, I can just order it again, remove it, and do it myself again if I decide to do that. If that imperfection becomes, too big of a deal for me, if I get tired of looking at that, I know that that's an option for me. But I don't think it's going to be, a big deal. I've been overlooking it this far. Yeah, guys. So if ever you get frustrated, calm down, take a moment and, try and think of another way, come up with another way. Because, definitely I was on the verge of wasting $30, $40 just throwing that wrap away when, as it turns out, that's not a route that I needed to go to. So yeah, I just definitely wanted to get on the camera, share that with you guys, and, let you know that, that's what happened. That's what went on. Don't expect every single mod that you're going to do yourself to come out perfect. Don't expect it to not be a struggle. But expect to, have to exercise patience, have to exercise, perseverance. Don't quit too soon. But also, know what your limits are. And then also circling back to when you're watching, doing research and watching videos, when you watch this video, man, go out and find another one. Provide yourself with a multitude of information, because like I just said several times before, DIY is going to come with a margin of trial and error. But the biggest thing about DIY is, you got to do the research. You got to research so that you can minimize your margin for error. It's all about minimizing your margin for error, and you only do that through research. But yeah, guys, again, I apologize that there's no footage. Hopefully you can understand why. And, hit me down in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the install. Let me know if, you find value in hearing these opinions. Because I don't know, maybe you guys didn't want to hear this at all. Maybe you just want to see that final result. To me, there's value in being open and honest and showing you the troubles that go on. Because to me, knowing the troubles is more of a learning experience than just looking at a finished product. You can look at a finished product anywhere. That doesn't teach you, that doesn't tell you, that doesn't give you an idea of how that finished product was accomplished. So Yeah, let me know down in the comment sections what you think of the trunk wrap. Let me know what you thought of the video. Hit that like button, hit that comment button. Like I said, launching the channel tomorrow, and I've already got 13 videos built up. So big things are going to continue to happen on Gotham Hemi. Follow me on Instagram, Gotham_Hemi. That's where you get to see all the mods first. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.